Hey there, welcome to episode 6, the one with the simple sales system. I'm super excited to dive into this because aside from ditching social media, the other thing that I help my members with is making daily sales. Now, it's no secret that when you are running an online business, one of the big driving forces is how do you make money consistently? What does that look like? And without going into all the different business models, you can make it really, really simple by thinking through what are the daily cash flow activities that you can do again and again that actually bring you sales. What does that actually look like? So last week I was having this very conversation with one of my members on Voxer Coaching Day, and we were literally discussing what would it look like for her to make daily sales. And this is often a difficult thing because we think that we have to do things that directly correlate, and that just doesn't always happen, right? Sometimes, and if we're being honest, most of the time, the things that we do now are the things that bring us income further down the track. And I think this is the biggest mindset shift that we have to make as online business owners from being an employee, right? When we work for somebody else, the time that we put in directly correlates to income because we're trading time for dollars. But when we're working in our own business, that is often not the case, right? Unless you're a service provider, then that might be the case. But if you're a coach, if you're a course creator, if you're creating digital products, then you're not trading time for dollars. And now you've got to think through, what are the things that I do now that basically accrue? And it's actually kind of like thinking through how you would receive royalties for a book. It's kind of the same thing. So, what I mean by that is, when you publish a book, and I'm specifically talking about on Amazon, when you publish a book on Amazon, you don't get paid until 60 days in arrears. So you've done all this work and you might be making sales, but you don't actually get money until 60 days in arrears. And it's almost 90 days because they pay out in the third month. But here's the thing, once you get that first payout, as long as you're making sales, you will start to get payouts every single month. And that is the exact same approach that we want to apply to our business. What are the things that we can do today that in 60 to 90 days time are going to actually start to pay us? And this is why I personally always talk through setting up your daily sales checklist. Or if we want to go for a larger overall process, it's the daily sales ecosystem. And that is, what are you doing every single day to grow your audience and offers, to nurture your audience, and to sell to your audience? Right? Those are the three core things. So I personally have a daily cash flow checklist. And if you want that, then all you have to do is go into the show notes and go and click on that. It's free. You can go and check it out. And I walk you through all the things that I do every single day to make daily sales. It's just going to give you a bit of an idea of what that actually genuinely looks like, and then how you could start to apply that to yourself. But let's circle back to this member we were chatting through. Now, she is still on Instagram, but she is wanting to move off Instagram. So we were talking through, okay, what are the things that result in sales? What are the things that she's doing right now? And so we went back through and did a bit of an audit, and she sat down and she went, okay, well, I know that if I record a video on Instagram, so if I do a reel, but then I share that with my email list, that's largely where my sales come from, not actually from Instagram, which I thought was very interesting. And actually, that's reverse organic. So you can still do social media if you want to do social media, but you can do it in a way that is reverse organic, which is basically you create the content on your social media, but really you're sharing it with the audience that you already have. And obviously you need to be growing your audience. So we talked through a whole bunch of different things. And she decided that she was going to do one reel a day. And then she was going to share that in an email once a week, all the reels. And within each reel, she either encourages them to check out the link in her profile, or depending on what it was, she could actually put the link in the reel, and then she would share that with her email list. The other thing that we talked about was how was she going to grow her audience, and that is one thing that most of my members kind of skip over, and it's the number one thing that you kind of need to have working for you in the background. If you can automate growing your audience, it does make your life a lot easier, but it just depends on whether you actually have money to invest in running paid lead generation ads, or you want to do something that's more about collaboration. I've done both, and I personally am loving the collaboration side of things, but that's my jam. And so when you're thinking through the grow, nurture, sell components for your own daily cash flow checklist, you just want to think through, okay, well, what are the things that I like to do? How do I like to grow my audience? Now, when it comes to our offers, we don't need to be growing our offers every single day, but we do need to be reviewing our offers and thinking through what is it that our audience actually wants. So I have a process at the end of every month where I just kind of go back through and I look at any emails that people have responded to. I go and have a look in my community to see what my members are talking about. I review Voxer Coaching Day conversations to just see if there's anything that I notice as a pattern. Now, I'm a manifesting generator from a human design perspective, and that is kind of my jam, is to see patterns and to notice things. And I just really pay attention to what my gut lights up about. I also have sacral authority. And then that leads me to create brand new offers or update and refine existing offers. So when you're sitting down and doing this for yourself, you just want to think through all of those things. So really, your action step for today is to create your own daily sales checklist. And that means that you need to know what that looks like. So it may mean that you need to do a bit of an audit. And honestly, if you grab my daily sales cash flow checklist, you'll see kind of what that looks like, and you'll be able to go and do that for yourself. More deets about that in the show notes. But basically, what I want you to do is think through, how am I growing, nurturing, and selling? What does that look like? And what can I do every single day to start to see the results from those efforts 60 to 90 days in the future? And here's the thing. If you consistently do this every single day, you will start to make daily sales. That's how this works. So that's it for today's Simple Success session. So if you're ready to take action on this, if you were sitting there going, I would love to set up my own daily sales cash flow checklist, or if you want to do your broader daily sales ecosystem, then we can start on that process inside the Feedback Loop. One-on-one coaching, 30 days, 100 USD. That's it. If you're ready to dive in, go into hustleandgroove.com/feedback. I can't wait to start working with you very soon. So until next time, remember, simple actions lead to beautiful results.